Hey everybody, it's Mr. MacDonald here, and today we're going to talk about some topics in chapter 38. So, big thing is the age of enlightenment and the age of reason. Basically, people started to react against the absolute monarchs and against the church, and they didn't want to just take other people's words for it. People started to run their own experiments, and they also started to question government. And some of these questions were, why is divine right even a thing? Why are some people considered royalty and given basically unchecked power? Some of the early philosophers that spoke out against divine right and enlightenment were Montesquieu. And he wrote a book called Spirit on Laws, and he said it shouldn't be the power of government in one person like a king, but he said government should be separated. He came up with the concept of separating government into different branches, sort of like ours with our system of checks and balances. He did not believe the absolute monarch should have all the power. He wanted to see the power shared by the people. He's important, and that was Montesquieu. Another person, John Locke Rosue, wrote a book called The Social Contract, and he argued that people need the consent of the government. And if the government denies the people their basic rights, the contract is broken. So Rosue basically said if a government is denying people their basic rights, then the social contract is broken and there should be a revolution or change. Next, another thinker, and he's very famous, is John Locke. He was from England, and he had a book called The Treatise on Government, and he argued all people had the right to life, liberty, and property. And the sole purpose of government, John Locke said, was to protect people's basic human rights and property. John Locke said, everybody's born with natural rights, the right to life, liberty, and property. John Locke stated, if a government denies people these rights, then the people's job is to rise up and overthrow these governments. He hated absolute monarchies. John Locke also believed in the ideas of free speech. Many other countries took these ideas and tried to incorporate them in their government. The United States is one example. Okay? These took place during the time of the Enlightenment. And these were some of the famous thinkers and philosophers who wrote down their thoughts against government and published them, sometimes in pamphlets, sometimes in newspapers or short essays. And these essays were distributed and read widely by people all over the world. And people began to question the idea of divine right and absolute monarchs. So these thinkers helped start revolutions that are going to change the world and government as we know it. And this whole time period is called the Enlightenment. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.